What if I told you that you don't have to sacrifice your quality of life in order to have a healthy routine? This is gonna be 3 simple steps that I've personally used in order to help me form life-changing habits. I wanna talk about mindset a little bit before we get into the actionable steps, because I think it's really important to have a clean slate, so to speak, before going into this. I truly believe that the best way to make drastic change is through several small good habits that compound over time. With all that being said, and as cliche as it may sound, it's true that life is like a roller coaster. We go through these high and these low vibrational shifts, and the goal needs to be to make these low points last just a little bit less long each time that you find yourself back in that place. Did you ever notice we tend to make ourselves feel bad whenever we don't stick to that habit that we formed or that we're trying to form? We kick ourselves for eating that candy bar, for not hitting the same weight that we hit last week, sleeping in an extra hour. The key here is to not lose yourself in the guilt of it all. We're only human and these things happen. You don't have to sacrifice your quality of life in order to have a good routine. So when these feelings of guilt or shame arise, it's okay to acknowledge the feelings, to acknowledge the thoughts, and then simply choose to let them go. I guess to put it more simply, don't be so hard on yourself. So keeping all that in mind, this is gonna be 3 things to easily form life-changing habits. Be sure to stick around for the 3rd one, because I personally find it to be one of the most important elements. Now, the thing that jump-started my journey, and you may scoff hearing me say this, and you may even be expecting me to say this, but the first thing is go to the gym. Start by going to the gym. All right, but hear me out. This one small change in my life created this sort of domino effect that allowed for better and better habits to keep forming. Because once I formed the first one, I realized I can do this, whereas I never really felt like I could. After I started going to the gym, all of a sudden I started listening to more and more audiobooks, because I just put my headphones in and then I can listen to as many audiobooks as I want during my workout routine. So now I'm learning and knocking out my workout routine all at the same time. And it's kept me in this sort of inspired, motivated flow state. And I always have this sense of growing and moving forward, and I think that's really important to maintain. And the gym has also just proven to be almost therapeutic in a way, and I would have never really thought of it that way until I started going for myself, and I saw the benefits that it could have over an extended period of time. Now I'm gonna break down these steps a little bit further that can help get you into your gym journey. Number 1 is gonna be frequency. The more often you go to the gym, the quicker it's gonna become a habit. If you go daily, it's more likely to become a habit quicker than as if you just go 1 day a week. Number 2 is going to be consistency. Sticking to a specific time each day for your gym routine can help reinforce the habit. You can kind of see here all of the purple days. I literally had it set up to be every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when I would start going. But I ended up falling in love with the gym, so now I just go every day. And I take rest days when I feel like I need it. And that's not necessarily advice. Definitely plan your rest days if you feel like you should. Number 3 is going to be motivation and goals. Clear reasons for going to the gym. Whether you're just overall trying to improve your health, lose weight, or get bigger. Clear motivation and goals can strengthen your commitment and make the habit stick faster, which is ultimately what you want. Number 4, enjoyment. If you don't enjoy what you're doing at the gym, you're not gonna wanna go. I can't stress this enough. It's so important for you to go in and do things that you actually enjoy doing. If there's a particular exercise or machine that you really don't like, then don't do it. Don't force yourself to do it. Go find something that you do enjoy. And another thing is it will serve you to apply the same type of mindset to your daily routine. And I actually log every day that I go into the gym. I write down how much cardio I did, how many sets of what that I did, and I think that's also a really good way to form a habit. But let's say you're doing that every day, right? And you kind of start hitting the same sets of muscles or whatever it is every other day. And if there's like something you really just don't like doing, toss it out, find something else. It's totally okay, because you want to make this as fun for you as possible. If the routine starts to feel stale even, change it up. You really don't want to be thinking, damn, I don't want to go to the gym today. You want to be thinking, damn, I get to go to the gym today. You know, I get to listen to my books, my music, if I feel like it, and it just helps keep me in my flow state. Number 5, support and accountability. Going with your buddies can definitely help you get into the gym, but I do want you to be careful if you start going to the gym with friends, and here's why. Even though this can be majorly beneficial, this can also screw up your routine if you become used to only going with others. More often than not, your friends are gonna stop going, or maybe they're just not ready to take the gym as seriously as you are. So you just don't wanna form that mindset like you can only go to the gym if your friends can come with you. That's a quick way to fail. If they cancel, force yourself to pull up anyway. It'll be uncomfortable at first, but like anything else, over time, you'll get used to it. 6 is gonna be progress and feedback. Seeing improvements, whether you physically see it in your body or you just feel better, you can literally see it in your appearance. This can also provide that positive reinforcement that you might need to stick to this thing. I have this monthly reminder, you can see it in the little pink right there, to take my progress selfie. And then what I did is I made a gym journey folder in Google Drive with separate folders for each month of my journey, where I can upload those progress selfies and also any other progress content I may have gotten along the way. Now I have all this content at the ready, or it's just there for me to look back on and see how far I've come. It helps keep you in a good mindset, you know? And it really puts the progress into perspective. And I feel like I'm almost a little bit addicted to seeing, you know, the progress and the journey and where it's gonna go from here. And I don't wanna skip out on this part of the process, because you're gonna want all of this stuff later on. I've lost about 85 pounds since I was at my heaviest and I started my whole fitness journey. And I'll be making more videos detailing my gym journey in the future. So be sure to subscribe and turn off notifications so you don't miss out on that. Your second actionable step is gonna be a little bit more drag and drop, so to speak, depending on your own circumstance and what works best for you. I want you to find something small that you do every day, whether it be conscious or subconscious, and then intentionally decide that you're gonna do it every day from here on out at the same time every day. Or if you're not so good with time, which I'm not, just make it the first thing you do when you get out of bed. I've heard a lot of people say to make your bed as soon as you get up, because it helps establish that routine. But the truth is completing a task, no matter how small, triggers that release of dopamine in the brain. This sense of accomplishment from this small step can help boost your mood and get your day started right. And it's so important to get your day started right. And if you're in the right mindset, everything else just kind of falls to place. But for me personally, it's getting up and making coffee. And while the coffee is brewing, I wash my dishes from the day before and wipe the countertops clean. I do this every morning and it just seems to start me off right. And it gets me in that good mindset. Because the rest of my day is out of my hands. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but this is something I have absolute control over, and I know this is gonna happen every single day. It's almost a little bit hard to explain without you just having to experience it for yourself. Or maybe you already know what I'm talking about. Maybe you already have something like this going on now that it's intentionally in your mind. I know for me, it's extremely hard to form habits if I have to go way out of my way to do something. And this kind of helped me get into the habit of forming habits. And now I'm able to travel further and further out of my comfort zone. It feels fairly easy to be able to add one more thing to my routine now. It's important to remain open to adjusting your approach if you encounter setbacks. If the initial timing or methods of habit forming isn't working for you, don't be afraid to experiment with trying something different or forming a different strategy until you find what works best for you personally. Leave a comment on this video for something you've intentionally noticed and made a part of your daily routine. Thank you for sticking around this far. I hope these methods help you like they have me. If you found value in this video, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, if you've seen some of my other videos, you've heard me say this before, but the third actionable step I have is to become the observer. This is gonna be extremely important when forming new habits. The reason being is because once you become the observer, to look at what's happening at any given moment from a third-person perspective, this allows you to establish real discipline. There will be days you look at something like going to the gym and you think to yourself, wow, I really don't want to do that today. You observe these thoughts, you observe these feelings, and you simply decide to let it go and stick to what you decided that you were gonna do, despite how you might be feeling at that moment. The more frequently that you're able to come out on top when this happens, the quicker you'll be able to form true habits. Now, I have to stress something that is extremely important. If you do end up falling off for a day, do not allow yourself to get caught up in those feelings of guilt and shame and whatever. Acknowledge that it happened, but just know that you're gonna get back on track the next day. It's okay to allow yourself this, because walking around and feeling guilty and sorry for yourself isn't gonna serve you in the slightest. That's all I have for you today. Much love.